What's going on YouTube? Gabriel right here, PGA Tour Driven, the movement towards improvement. I'm with my good buddy, my coach and instructor, Andy Patnow. And this video is going to be for my good buddy Scott, who asked me how to do the flop shot. That's right, the Flopodopoulos, or plof if you spell flop backwards. So we're going to talk everything from handle to grip to ball position to path, length of swing. We're going to go into detail and not leave any stone unturned.
Well, there's probably going to be a couple stones unturned, but we can't get all into it. It's like a 5-minute video.
It's going to be a long video. There are going to be some stones, some heavy ones that we won't really be able to turn over unless we have the Tiger Woods crowd, but flop video. Okay, you guys, so here we are. We're going to go to this front left pin over this bunker. This would be a flop type scenario. Andy, what are we going to start off with first?
Well, the first thing you guys have to understand here is, when to hit a flop shot. I think most of the time people think you got to hit a flop shot from pretty much any scenario that you short side yourself. And honestly, a flop shot is really kind of the last ditch effort shot that you kind of have to hit in order to pull off a good shot to save par. Maybe on a par 5 you want to make a close little birdie putt. So as you guys can kind of see here, we had a bunker shot with kind of relatively no green to really go about, and we're even kind of laying a little bit on a downslope. So the only way for this golf ball to really stop really close to that pin, it has to stop with trajectory. So imagine the ball just dropping like this. That's stopping the ball with trajectory. Not with spin necessarily, more in terms of that golf ball coming in nice and soft, and then like a pretty little butterfly softly on the ground.
Landing like a butterfly with sore knees.
Yeah, it sucks.
Or arthritis.
Arthritis. The butterfly is just not in good shape.
He's got chronic disease.
he's got something going on with that. So the next thing we gotta kind of judge here is a little bit of our lie. Do we have a tight lie? Do we have a fluffy lie? Or do you have a ball that's kind of sitting below? Because unfortunately, you can't really hit a flop shot. The ball's sitting below, in some thick rough. Unfortunately, the golf ball's not really gonna get up in the air and not really be a flop shot per se. But here, a relatively tight lie, I can pretty much do whatever I want with this golf ball, because this golf can pretty much just slide into that golf ball pretty simple and pretty easy. Right? So the first thing you gotta do is notice on a tight lie, and as you guys can see here, it's pretty tight. Dave, what do you got about it?
Okay, tight lie. So let's run through, let's break it down into 5 key components. We have assessed the lie, we've assessed the shot. Now we're gonna break it down into simple steps. First thing, are we gonna want to camber the club back perhaps?
A little bit, not crazy amounts here. And there's two different ways you guys can actually open the club face up for this little scenario. You can pretty much just sit here and twist open the club face and put it to the right, which will open it. Or the kind of method I like preferring for this, because it kind of keeps the blade a little bit more kind of pointed at the target where we want to go, is bring the handle a little back. Guess what happens, dummies? That opens the face.
Opens the face, we can use the bounce.
I didn't mean to call you guys dummies. So guys, this is me twisting open the face, where I'm just kind of feel like I'm rotating it to the right. As you guys can see now the face is pointed a little bit to the right, and sometimes you have to kind of adjust your body. I like kind of seeing the club face more square, and then us kind of laying the club back, and all of a sudden now you can kind of see that club face now open. It actually has, say, more loft to it, which is pretty much the same thing as opening it as well.
So first thing, we're going to move the handle back a little bit.
Just a little bit.
We're not going to open up the face, we're just going to move it just back a little. It's going to add loft and utilize the bounce more.
Absolutely.
So ball position now, let's say if it's a regular shot, ball position is going to be in the middle of my stance. For a flop, where's ball position going to be now?
We're going to move that ball just a fraction forward. Let's say off our left instep just a little bit. Nothing kind of crazy. And the good thing about that, because now we don't have to sit there and actually open that blade up too much or kind of lean it back a lot. It's to be kind of relatively just a little lean back, not too much. I don't want you guys getting crazy here where you guys are getting this thing way this way, because what starts happening, that leading edge starts coming off the ground, and that usually means blades and all a bunch of bad shots going from there. All right, so the handle's just a little back, let's say like an inch back or so. Nothing kind of crazy. Ball's a little forward. Now stance width here. Pretty narrow. You can get a little wide, so you don't have to be too wide in this little shot.
Is this pretty good?
That's pretty solid.
Okay, so we're going to move the handle back just slightly.
Yep, just a little bit,
ball
like 1 inch.
Position's going to be up. It's about inside left heel.
Yep.
We're not even standing up more open, really.
Not really, because we don't have to adjust our stance where the face is kind of pointed at.
Now, grip, what do we want to do with this grip?
Oh, this is a really important one, guys. So I want you guys to understand that the top hand here, in a normal shot, we want to kind of see the thumb kind of more, not up and down necessarily, but not really pointed too far to the right or too far to the left, relatively neutral. But for this little shot here, I want Gabe to crank his hand way to the right, not too much, let's say rotate it like around 45 degrees there. And he's going to bring his right hand and make that one a lot more on top. All right, so in golf terms, that's making the the top hand a lot stronger and
Weaker.
the bottom hand a lot weaker.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, top hand a lot stronger, bottom hand a lot weaker. All right.
This is called what? The butterfly grip.
Yeah, the butterfly grip. Good coaches out there, really short game renowned coaches like Stan Nutley, James Sickman, Kevin Weeks, and Pete Cohen out there, or Cowan, right? It's a Cowan. Yeah, Pete Cowan. They all kind of promote this golf grip for any shot that wants to get some height, and for you guys to utilize the balance just a little bit better. All right, so Gabe, let's see here. Let's talk about one more thing here. I think length of swing is kind of a thing that always kind of gets brought up. Is how big a swing should I make? I want you guys noticing that the best flop shot artists out there, the guys that use the best short game, nothing's ever done quick and jerky in those shots. It's all kind of more of a long, lazy kind of swing that has a gradual speed pickup, as opposed to kind of being really fast with it and kind of just hoping the speed kind of catches up and matches up. So Gabe, I want you kind of focusing on here. This is honestly why I think Gabe has a really good short game, because Gabe has a really, really smooth transition back and forth. And there's never anything really quick and jerky to Gabe's swing, which is actually, I think, a beautiful thing that you kind of have in your game. So Gabe, hit a couple shots here. So handle's just a little back. He's not really opening that face. Ball's a little forward. Top of the grip's a little stronger. Bottom hand's a little weaker. All right, he's just gonna hit this touch nice and high.
I just like to see Monday range day. Monday, Tuesday range days.
Range ball. But that was a good shot.
Pretty good shot. Now, for him, if he wants to sit there and hit that thing a little bit higher, I would say for him, just get a little bit more speed going through the shot, and I would say actually have a little shorter backswing, so you can generate a little quicker and kind of more of a snap speed on the way through.
We have everybody over here on the range.
Yeah, there it is.
We have it maybe age groups, the little ones.
It's going high, and as you can see, I'm not really making much of a divot. It's kind of just brushing the ground, if anything.
Yeah. So I mean, some do's and don'ts, guys. I think some don'ts. I don't ever like promoting everyone aiming really far left, opening the blade up, and making this really exaggerated out to in move, which is something that you said you're trying to do. Because unfortunately, that's going to promote kind of more of a miss hit behind, and you just got to kind of compensate where that club face is kind of going at. It's just too difficult.
One of the big things I want to point out is contact. And for me, I was hitting the ball heavy, and I want you, Andy, to share with the viewers what you told me to do to help me with better contact and not hitting too far behind.
Yeah, so I mean, if you guys watched our bunker video before, it's kind of the same principles. I'm a big believer that where your sternum is for a short game shot is pretty much where that club's going to bottom out. And when Gabe was aiming too far left here, he started having his sternum too far tilted back to the right, which unfortunately promotes him kind of hitting more behind. It may feel more comfy for the shot, but unfortunately it's promoting kind of more of a bottom of the swing to be this way. So what I told Gabe, I told him not to have such an open stance. He's almost kind of feeling like it's almost a hook stance for him, right? And he's bringing his chest buttons and rotating his sternum a little bit ahead, and then positioning that golf club, right? Because now it's going to take that contact principle out, and it's actually, what we saw here, it made that contact a lot tighter and a lot crisper. Right, it's not bad, a little bit of bounce use there, but still pretty good spin.
Well, that's the thing too. It's okay to hit it just slightly heavy if you're using the bounce.
Yeah, so bounce here, guys, I kind of zoom in here real quick, is this part of this golf club right around here. As you guys can kind of see here, it's not really flat. Right, can you see that okay? Right,
there we go.
It's got a little bit of roundness to it. I want you guys imagining this is kind of like a little bit of a contact lens. And even my wedge group here, you guys can see it's kind of ground down a little bit. Right, so it's kind of really even. It's got this kind of nice smooth surface. Not like your irons where it's just kind of straight across and kind of jagged. Right, because what starts happening when that sits on your hand, right, you can kind of see how that leading edge is actually off of my hand and not necessarily nestled down close to it.
And that's a big thing. That's why when we camber it back and the shaft goes a little back, we end up utilizing the bounce, and it's not going to get diggy or stubby into the grab.
One of the things also is probably a relaxed grip pressure, because it's okay for this club to come in and pass the hands just slightly.
Just slightly, yeah.
Not throwing the hands like this, but relax enough hands where the club can just naturally slide underneath the ball.
Yeah, I like using to a lot of my students the line up technique. Right, what I mean by lined up, there's no handle dragging and there's no kind of exaggerated amount of scoop. It's more having that where that kind of feeling like where it feels like everything's in one formation, but if anything there's actually a little bit of extension here because that left wrist is going to a little bit of extension. But the sensation is that you guys are actually having it line up, and actually more in front here. There's none of that and there's none of this. It's more of a line up sensation.
Okay, so last review. All right, this is my pre-setup checkpoints. I'm going to set up. I'm going to move the handle back. My ball position is going to be forward. I'm going to use a strong left hand grip, a weak right hand grip. I'm going to make sure that it's a nice smooth swing with light grip pressure. And I'm going to try to line up the club with the left arm, maybe a little bit of extension. And just slide the club underneath the ball. And we both made it.
Of course we did. Did you expect anything different?
Andy, whose show do you think this is? Alright, we didn't make it, you guys, let's be honest. The flop shot's one of the hardest shots in golf. You guys, this is Gabriel Ryder. Andy, could you come over here, please?
Yeah, guys.
Gabriel Ryder here, PGA Tour driven. Andy Pat now, instructor here over here at TPC Scottsdale. Andy, how can someone get a hold of you looking for a lesson?
Oh yeah, geez, that's good information. A bunch of you guys have been asking me kind of questions on Facebook and my golf page. Again, if you haven't liked my golf page, yes, it's Andy Patnow Golf. I like to answer questions on there. Hit me up on my golf page. But if you also want to get a hold of me through my email, it's andyp@touracademy.com. Just, send me some emails. Let's say, give me a question in terms of if you want to come in or not. I think Gabe, we kind of set up a little deal too if you kind of come in. What was the price that we kind of talked about?
So basically, if you guys want to go see Andy for a lesson, being referred from my videos, Andy's going to give you guys $50 off your first lesson. So instead of $125, it's be $75. You guys can come over here. The facility is great, as you can see. Great short game areas, great putting, great range to actually work on your game. If you let Andy know you want to sign up with Andy, let me know. I'll come over. Maybe we'll video it.
Yeah.
You can take home a lesson with you, so it'll be cool stuff. You guys subscribe, share this video if you like. More videos coming out every week. Also do monthly golf giveaways. What don't we do, Andy?
Yeah, we do everything.
We do everything.
Except for delivering refrigerators. That hurts our backs. And
Well,
don't do
we
that.
tried it.
Yeah.
We honestly want to do it, but
We
our
just can't.
backs, I mean, we practiced enough golf and it just wasn't good for the lower lumbar.
Yeah, so if you guys want a refrigerator, can't do it.
I don't even know. We should. I guess that's the end of the video.
All right, see ya. Wait, actually,
This is an awkward ending.
Yeah, it is. So I guess again, like I say, go like both our pages, and I say don't forget about our giveaways too.
Yeah.
I still have some of my golf giveaways, and you should tell them more about your T-shirts again.
T-shirts are available for like 2 more days, to be honest. If you want to check out the PGA Tour driven T-shirts, all the links are below, people. Everything's there for you. All you have to do is pick it up and eat it.
Guys, it's such a cool T-shirt. My grandma bought one.
Okay, so
This is a pretty important one here, guys. Tip of the tongue, Scotch.
The torch had a
The torch had a something.
bank loan. The
That
torch was
tongue.
denied a bank loan.
The fox jumped over the foxy fox.
Yep.
With the special little green saber that ran around with the green lantern
Right.
and learned how to hit a flop shot.